Hey, what's going on? The Real Deal Sports Show. I am your host, the fanatic. It's a beautiful day. Football. You smell that? Football in
Yes.
the air, baby. What's going on, Rad Man? How you feeling?
Wonderful. Good morning. The pigskin is back up and in the air. We saw it all out in LA at SoFi Stadium. We're going to get to that SoFi massacre coming up shortly. But first, we're going to we dedicate the show, as always, to the Buffalo 10, the victims of that dastardly racist act in Buffalo, New York on May 14th, 2022. Yes, this year. We're not talking about 1876 or 1930 or 1950. We're talking about 2022, another dastardly act committed against African Americans that are just fun-loving people enjoying themselves out shopping at Top Supermarket, and then they get gunned down like animals by some sick, crazed nut. Come on, America. America can do better than this. Treat the black people just like you treat anybody else. But right now, we're giving Buffalo 10 victims of that racist attack, dedicated the show. We're also fanatic going to dedicate the show to another good friend of mine, a nice friend, acquaintance, I should say. Minister James Evans made his transition recently. Services were held yesterday for him at Eden Baptist Church, but Minister James Evans used to be the CEO at the Colgate Divinity School. He used to supply us with articles in Challenger Community News back in the 90s. He also made sure that Colgate Divinity School did their fair share of advertising in the Challenger Community News newspaper. And he also was involved throughout the community with various organizations, activities, the whole 9 yards. I remember another good friend of ours at the time, Frances McIver. She mentioned Minister James Evans. She went under his tutelage, I should say, and became an outstanding minister before she made her transition as well. Minister James Evans is responsible for a lot of the young ministers that you see preaching in Rochester and around the country today. His church, St. Luke Church over there on Dewey Avenue by Seneca Parkway. And he also opened a location in Detroit, Michigan, as well for St. Luke Tabernacle. So him and his wife did a lot. He was 72 years old. Reverend Dr. James H. Evans, Jr., you will be missed. You are another African American of Rochester, New York, that made Rochester a much better place to live. And in the 90s and early 2000s, Minister Evans was right there on the forefront of many issues affecting African Americans. He came up with healthcare issues and fought for us and fought for our people. Minister Reverend Dr. James H. Evans, Jr., once again, you will be missed, and we dedicate the show to you and your family. And also one other dedication, a legendary journalist, Bernard Shaw. I go back to Bernard Shaw being an international correspondent for CBS News. He was an outstanding correspondent at the time, back in the 70s, when you didn't see that many African Americans on the news, period, telling us the news. He was always overseas and always at the forefront of major issues, even wars and things that was happening in the world. Bernard Shaw was there. But then a new upstart TV network started, a network called CNN. I wonder, is CNN still around today? I wonder. But anyway,
I think it is, Rad Man.
You think it is? They still around? That network is still around? Somehow. Well, Bernard Shaw was one of the first anchors for CNN, and he brought his international news, and he brought real journalism to CNN. They may have lost some of that journalism tutelage recently, but back in the day when CNN first started, they were on point with covering the news, the first station to cover news 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. On live TV. Bernard Shaw was one of the first main anchors of that network, and he helped make CNN really what it is today because they were very successful. The other networks had to step their game up because of the high quality of news coverage that Bernard Shaw and all the CNN people were reporting on and covering at that time. So rest in power, Bernard Shaw. One of my idols and one of my guys that I write my articles and always think about in journalistic terms when I'm writing my articles. You're another one of the guys that always pattern my approach in some of my articles too. Bernard Shaw, look him up. If you don't know about him, hey, you high school students, school's back in session. If you got to do a report or a paper on somebody, do it on Minister Dr. Reverend James H. Evans Jr. Educate your teachers and your classmates about Dr. Evans and his accomplishments here in Rochester, New York. Or go on the national level and talk about Bernard Shaw. There's an awful lot of black and brown people that we can talk about in school. We ain't got to worry about what the cancel culture, whatever this nonsense they talking or whatever. Talk about our people. Raise our people up. So if you got to do a paper, I'm talking to you 7th and 8th, you middle schoolers and you high school folks, you got to do a paper on Dr. Minister James H. Evans Jr. And how about Bernard Shaw? Google them. You got to Google. You don't have to have an encyclopedia. I only had an encyclopedia. I had to look these people up in an encyclopedia. I had to go to the library and look them up. Now you can look them up in the convenience of your own home. Hey, parents, have your kids look up Bernard Shaw and write a paper, and maybe write a paper about Bernard Shaw and have your kid tell you who Bernard Shaw was, because he's somebody that your kids should be looking at as a role model and a hero too, because that man did a lot for black people in the sense of journalism and also TV news broadcasting. So that's just a little homework for your parents out there. Get your kids out there and check them out and support them also academically just as much as you were at these football games, and you come out and you support your kids at the basketball game, the sporting events. Do the same thing academically as well, y'all. Let's make it happen. Right, Fanatic?
You know that's right. And hey, if you're going to add doing some homework, I like it. We started with education. Good luck to all of our scholars all across the country getting back into school. Make this year the best educational year of your life this year. Make it happen. 2022. Hey, I know we took some things for granted before the pandemic, but enjoy physically being in school and getting that education. Don't waste it. And I'm going to shout out, you want to do a real project, as Radman said, do look up my man AP Terrell Jr., the first black student at LSU. And again, as Radman was talking about with the Buffalo 10, we always dedicated to you guys. We're talking 1953 is when AP Terrell Jr. was the first black student at LSU. So we've grown a lot in what we've done over the last 5 years being at LSU, but we have so far still to go. Again, AP Terrell Jr., the first black student ever to attend LSU for us in Louisiana. So do a report on him too. Like Radman said, let's lift up our people, and we will continue to do so. So officially, we coming in hot this morning. Welcome everybody officially to the Real Deal Sports Show. Radman, talk to us. What did you see? Because I know I saw a lot. I can't wait to have this conversation. What did you see with the Buffalo Bills as they circled the wagon many times? The Rams looking all around. Matt Stafford didn't know who was going to hit him. Boogie Basham, Von Miller. My man Jordan Phillips looked like he ate a small child before the game. That's a big man collapse in that middle. What did you see in that Bills-Rams game on Thursday night in front of the national audience?
I saw two things. I saw a hungry team going up against a satisfied team. The satisfied team being the LA Rams. They were satisfied with putting the banner up in the SoFi Stadium from their victory. And remember, when they beat the Cincinnati Bengals, they didn't beat Cincinnati convincingly at all. I thought it was a shoddy game, Super Bowl game when they played against the Bengals. And they transferred that. They played really kind of the same way but this time they played against a better opponent, a team that was hungry, a team that even though they made mistakes in the first half, turned the ball over a couple of times. Christian Benford. I thought Christian Benford played an outstanding job on the corner. Stafford was unable to go after him. Now, Matt Stafford is good for 2 interceptions a game. He led the league in interceptions last year with 17 for the 17 games, 17 regular season games. He had 17 interceptions for the entire season last year. He led the league in interceptions. His arm wasn't right last year. His arm isn't right this year. It looked like he needs Tommy John surgery because that ball takes off on him. It goes high. And that's the first indicator that we didn't know he had arm trouble last year. That's probably why those balls were taking off on him last year. They taking off on him again. The Rams are in serious trouble if they think they can make the entire season with Matthew Stafford at quarterback. He's not mobile. He can't run. He can just stand back there and try to throw. You have Whitmore retire, a legendary, most likely a Hall of Fame tackle retire, and now you got a rookie in there, and you put the rookie up against, which was shocking to me. They allowed him to go one-on-one with Von Miller early in the game. I'm like, man, why would you do that, man? They should always had the tight end over there. I thought their blocking scheme was messed up because then when they finally pulled the guy over and double teamed Von Miller. Then Jordan Phillips went off. Ed Oliver, Jaquan Jones, you name everybody on that front was in that backfield. Then Boogie Basham, when he got in there, oh my gosh, that guy, Boogie Basham is always around the football. Ever since he came here last year, even in preseason of his rookie season, he was always around the football. That guy has a knack. He tipped the ball up, got himself an interception.
Yeah, that was big.
Boogie Basham wearing Jerry Hughes' number.
Yeah, I kept saying 55, and I said Jerry Hughes looked young and spry. And I said, wait a minute, Jerry Hughes, man, he was rocking at 55 for so long. It was, I had to keep telling myself that's not Jerry Hughes, that's Boogie Basham, BB. He in the game now.
Yeah, that's how Jerry Hughes used to look. Remember Jerry Hughes about 7-8 years ago. We remember him. He's down there in Houston with the Texans. We'll see how he performs on Sunday back home, home cooking. But when Bills got younger, they played very well on the defensive front. They overpowered the offensive game. Akers is not healed up from the Achilles. He's still just like O.J. Howard. You remind me of O.J. Howard. They're a little slow off the ball right now, but they're going to take them most of the season to get him. If Akers can just hang in there by the second half of the season, you'll probably be seeing glimpses of the old Akers. He did right now. He doesn't have that explosive first step due to the Achilles. He's healing. He's just now coming back from the Achilles, and it takes about a year.
He played in the Super Bowl, Rad, man. He came back in like 6-7 months, which is unheard of. These doctors, I don't know what they're doing, but to see people with torn Achilles, torn ACLs, Michael Gallup, Chris Godwin, who tore his ACL late in the season, he's going to be playing game one. The technology for injuries is through the roof right now.
Yes, but the key thing is you're going to see them playing, but they're really not themselves. You're going to notice that they're the Chris Godwins, and whenever they come back, they're not going to be themselves. It's going to still take almost the entire season for them to get back into where their body and that muscle and their ligaments and all that heals up and comes back. Then you'll see glimpses of it. But right now, Akers is slow off the ball. And then on the other side of the ball, the Bills' offensive line, I was surprised that I love Stafford and Deion Dawkins on that side. Those guys were punishing guys. I was surprised the Bills didn't run more behind them in this contest, but they ran anyway. And I think Raheem Blackshear really lit a fire under Devin Singletary, and because those guys ran more physical than I ever seen Devin Singletary. He ran over people. I couldn't believe Devin Singletary put his head down.
Putting the shoulder down on people. I was looking like, the Bills feeling real confident. They putting the shoulder, they shaking, baking Ricky Bobby. I was like, okay, Buffalo. But hey, Radman, now remember, you're going to shout out some LSU Tigers like Andrew Whitworth. Make sure you shout him out. Soon to be LSU Hall of Famer and Pro Football Hall of Famer. They really miss him dearly. I definitely would say, to me, I'm going to say just in order what I saw, Jordan Phillips was a beast. Josh Allen, hey, Radman, I remember a dude who said he couldn't hit the backside of a barn. He looked calm. His eyes weren't looking all extra shot and crazy. He was looking locked in. He was looking accurate on the short passes. He wasn't looking long every time. I like when he dumping it off to Singletary to get it on the back foot, lower the shoulder. That was big. Ed Oliver's injury, I didn't like seeing that, but hopefully he'll be all right. Boogie Basham, like you said, I love seeing another former LSU, Joe Brady, seeing him on the sideline. They have a lot. The Bills have what I see overall talent everywhere, whether that is in the front office, on the coaching staff, because Joe Brady's a great coach. I've seen them live and in person. Ken Dorsey Young can relate to the coaches. They got talent everywhere, man. I didn't even see Tremont Edmonds, and knowing that he's probably him, Milano, they look like the cornerbacks. You drafted somebody out of Villanova. I promise you, all of us combined in the last 5 years have only seen Villanova basketball, not football. And they drafted the corner out of there who's starting and plays solidly. So the Bills, to me, overall, we got to shout out Brandon Beane. He's put together a really great team, and they look like they are. It's going to be hard to stop them. Whoever got the best job in the league, I'll tell you now, it's the Bills punter. Best job. He doesn't even have to work. He get paid to show up.
That's right. I thought Matt Barkley could have done the punting right now. He wasn't confident in Matt Barkley. I would just kept him as a punter and open up another roster spot for somebody, because you got somebody like Shaq Lawson inactive. I mean, Shaq Lawson's a damn good football player, and for him to be not even active, which means he didn't even dress for the game. Yeah, you got a surplus of talent on this roster. And we're going to go to the quick interview. Couple hard questions I have for Coach Sean McDermott. This Sean McDermott interview is brought to you by Miriam Rivera Insurance Agency. Auto, home, health, life insurance, 1038 Lyle Avenue, 511 Bean Road, Suite B. Caller 585-360-0094. If you need fall insurance, put the motorcycles away. You got your kids going back to the car, get that Humpty on the road for those kids. Call Miriam. I guarantee you, she saved my family money. I damn sure know she can save you and your family some money as well. So you get a hold of Miriam Rivera Insurance Agency, 1038 Lyle Avenue, 360-0094. And this is Sean McDermott answering the questions regarding Josh Allen still being in the game.
So, good afternoon, Coach George Redney, Challenger Community News. How you doing this afternoon?
Good, George. Good to see you.
All right. Congratulations on the last night. And I was wondering, was Ed Oliver hurt on the play on the 4th and 1 when the lineman pushed everybody and they all ended up landing on top of Ed Oliver? Happened to be on the bottom of that pile. Was that when the injury occurred?
It was either that play or a similar play there that you're describing an event where he was being pushed. I don't know if it's on that play that you're describing or a similar play.
Okay. And also, my other question, in the second half, are you taking consideration of not running Josh Allen with the ball as much, especially once you get up by 2 scores, where possibly giving James Cook and some of the other running backs more touches, especially a rookie like Cook, maybe to make up for.
Oh, look like we might have lost it there. Fanatic.
That's all.
No, that. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think
sound like we lost.
Yeah, unless McDermott just went to go get some.
Receiver got covered. We got kind of around.
Yeah, it sounds like something happened there with hey, always something with technology. You know how that goes. But Sean McDermott did say that he called in more plays for running plays, but he really almost admitted that that quarterback Josh Allen saw opening, and instead of handing the ball to the running back like the play was designed to go with, he did the read option type thing and takes off with the ball. Well, I need to put this behind on the bench, man. If he can't hand the ball off to the quarterback, to the running back after we're up by 2 scores, man, you don't deserve to be in the game, man. We need you for the 16 more games in the playoffs. We don't need you just for tonight. I mean, for him to be in the game with 6 minutes left, you're up by 14 points. There's no way in hell I got my quarterback. I don't see no other team in the National Football League running their quarterback when it's less than when the game is really not in doubt anymore. And that game wasn't in doubt under the 10-minute mark of the fourth quarter. Buffalo was up by 14. Run the ball, do the read option, but hand the ball off and give it to these running backs. Because Josh Allen, yeah, he stiff-armed the guy. Everybody's talking about that stiff arm. But, hey, man, those defenders look at that film, and, man, they're going to start going at his legs, man, going at his knees and ankles, man. They're going to try to break his legs, break him in two, man. Because the guy's just so big, you got to go low on him. And then when you go low on him, then when he gets hurt, then you're complaining about cheap shots and stuff like that. What's your comment, Fanatic?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good question. Is Josh Allen playing for the MVP while within the game? Is he trying to lead the team? Of course, he's trying to lead the team for the MVP. But is he out there trying to get those style points like he's in college? Is he out there trying to make sure he puts that official stamp? Everybody knew that was a primetime game. Him just watching it, he could have easily said, all right, running back, take it. But like you're saying, if that's what McDermott is saying, there might be a little question because I will tell you, we pay attention to Vegas, and we got the betting lines coming up. Josh Allen is the betting favorite and going into the season as the MVP. Is he maybe reading that and saying, all right, I'm going to put a little extra oomph on this game. I got my signature moment with the stiff arm. Now let me make sure my stats are looking right. So, I mean, but Radman, you're right. He definitely needs to hand that ball off. If you can't follow those simple directions, Josh, I need to make an example out of you. You're playing great, but I'm going to put in Barkley and let him hand off if you're not going to do that. But I think more or less than anything is Radman, do you think Josh Allen has it in his head that I'm the betting favorite and I want to be the MVP of this league?
I don't know about having it in his head, but he was doing it all last season, year before, because Brian Daboll, when he went to the Jets, they asked him about that, and he said on the exit interview after the Kansas City game, he said, no. He said when the final interviews with the media, he said, no, I called a lot of running plays for Devin Singletary, but Josh Allen took it upon himself to keep the ball and run with the ball. The play call wasn't designed for Josh Allen to run with the ball. So, see, we were giving Brian Daboll a lot of grief about why is he calling the quarterback's number. He's used to doing this. And see, he has the authority to change the play if he sees opening, he'll keep the ball instead of giving it to Devin Singletary or Zach Moss, guys in the running backs and taking off. It's something that the coaches got to sit him down and say, hey, man, you running less with the ball. You only going to run in critical situations. That's what really it needs to come down to. He needs to run in critical situations when the game is in doubt. It's a tight game. But if you've beaten somebody by 7, 10 points, you don't walk around the field, you haven't punted yet, and you running the game, man, hand the ball off, man. Don't be a hero. Don't play hero ball. You played hero ball when we didn't have the talent. Now we have the talent. We got plenty of talent to go around. Wide receivers, running back. Jamison Crowder had an excellent game. I think Jamison Crowder is going to be the key guy coming in the slot, because he's a guy that doesn't drop the ball. He makes good catches. 9 times out of 10, he's going to be a security blanket for the team this season. Watch out for Jamison Crowder. And let's get Jay Gills in real quick and get a couple comments from him before we keep this show rolling. Jay Gills, welcome. Welcome to
good morning, Jay.
Real Deal Sports Show. How you doing this morning?
Hey, good morning, man. I know the Buffalo right now, the city is on fire right now. City is on fire. Everybody's excited. And can you blame them with how the Buffalo Bills came out and executed as expected?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Jay Gilson, what do you think was the key component? What do you say? I mean, you talked to Jordan Phillips. Do you think what do you think of Jordan Phillips' play back on Thursday night?
Now, I love what I saw with the offense, but I have to give credit to the defense. But more specifically, can we give some credit to the man in charge? Yes, McDermott, but Mr. Leslie Frazier. Going into this game, when I looked at that secondary, I saw major concerns. We all know Tre'Davious Wright was on the PUP list. He wasn't going to be able to play. But then when I saw how Leslie was able to protect his rookie cornerbacks, both Benford and Khalil Allen, with the zone coverage, with only having to rush for 4, with only needing to rush for 4 in the zones with those safeties, he was able to really protect his cornerbacks, and I thought that was a huge factor of the game. Cooper Kupp did go off, 15 targets, 13 catches, but for Allen Robinson to be held to 1 catch, 12 yards, you have to give credit to the scheme of the defense, only needing to rush forward, still producing 7 sacks. Everybody who was supposed to 8. Von Miller with 2 sacks. You had Greg Rousseau with a sack. You had Jordan Phillips, the big guy who George just mentioned, with a sack and a half. Boogie Basham with a sack. And AJ Epinesa with a sack and a half. Everybody who was supposed to eat 8, you have to give credit for Leslie Frazier only needing to rush 4, being able to drop Milano back in coverage, being able to drop Tremaine Edmonds back in coverage, and both of those safeties doing what they do best, which is why they're the best safety tandem in the league. So I have to give credit to Mr. Leslie Frazier, especially when you look at the Bills. They lost a turnover battle. 4 turnovers. So the defense really is the ones who kept them in the game. And I have to give credit to the scheme.
Excellent. And thank you for bringing that up. Leslie Frazier deserves it. Even the announcers was talking. And then they had the nerve to, why didn't he get a coaching job? Yeah, why didn't he get a head coaching job? He should be a head coach. Chris Collinsworth and all you guys. The man deserves a head coaching job. He did a fine job with the Minnesota Vikings. And he's great at covering up disguising the defense. He's great. And Stafford didn't know what defense the Bills were in. They were playing zone. Once in a while, they went man-to-man. They rolled the coverage over. With Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, they still, to me, the 2 best safeties in the game today. And they're able to do that. They're able to cover the field and disguise, make the calls, and disguise the defense. Because the Bills are disguising until the ball is snapped. When the ball is snapped, they'll switch to a different defense. They'll give you one look, and then when the ball is snapped, they jump to a different defense. And you can see Matthew Stafford had trouble all day figuring out where they were. Coop was his safety blanket. He couldn't even get Allen Robinson. You didn't even know he was in the game. And he's a top 10 receiver in the game today. He was non-existent. So they definitely, Leslie Frazier should have received a head coaching job and should be up for another one this year. Because remember, the head coach lost his cool in that last 13 seconds of the Kansas City game and took over the defense. That wasn't Leslie Frazier coaching the defense at the end of that game. You got to remember that, folks. Look at the video. You'll see Sean McDermott losing his cool, coming on the field, grabbing player. Well, acting all, but Leslie Frazier was calm, cool, and collected. I guarantee you, if he would allow Leslie Frazier to coach the last 13 seconds of that game and go with whatever Leslie Frazier was talking about, it wouldn't have been confusion. McDermott lost that game. That's what's it. McDermott, when the Bills get in a close game, I'm waiting to see is he going to be a hot fuse, a lighted fuse and explode like he did in KC? Let's wait till the Bills get into some close games and see how he coaches. The jury's still out on Sean McDermott. Right, Jay Gill? Fanatic?
Yeah. I'll jump in here. Yeah, so I definitely think that. But the way that the Bills are, how many close games will they be in? Of course, they'll be in some. But man, if you see, and that Rams defense, not a bad defense, and so I would probably say you talk about top 10. I don't know about Allen Robinson being top 10, but I think that Rams defense is a top 10 defense in the league, and the Bills just shredded them. And I will say to your point earlier, Radman, about Josh Allen, it's hard to say what makes you great to turn that off. Yes, he needs to stop running. But when I saw him running, Bobby Wagner holding on to him, like my little daughter holds on me when we're playing football in the house, that tells me I forget how big Josh Allen is. So that's it's going to be fun to watch the Bills this year. I'm taking a lot of overs with them as an individual team, and a lot of touchdowns being scored by Gabe Davis in particular, with him, Diggs, and Allen together. But yeah, Jay Gill's great point. Leslie Frazier, big piece. And then the Bills offense, they just have a lot of weapons. Dawson Knox, the newly paid 4 years, $53.6 million, $31 million guaranteed. He went 1 for 5, one catch for 5 yards on Thursday night. So just the Bills, man, it's going to be interesting. So Jay Gills, what do you see as your Dolphins moving forward? I know you're a Dolphins fan. What do you think for them on Sunday against the Patriots? I have them in my betting lines for this week. And then how do you see them stacking up against the Bills based on what you saw Thursday?
Well, what I have to say is when it comes to the Patriots, Bill Belichick had to bring his team down to Miami on a Tuesday. We'll see if that works in their favor with this weather, September weather. But I just saw Jalen Wademeyer on Instagram flexing in Miami early, even though he's on the practice squad for the Patriots. So I think those young cats is kind of feeling Miami a little bit more than Bill had thought they would be. But when it comes to the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins, it's not really much to say at this point. I saw an elite squad. I saw a squad from the Buffalo Bills having pressure and not being able to break. I saw them come in with every chip on their shoulder. I saw them have pressure, and I saw them have to hold up to a standard that they held up to. So, I mean, when it comes to the offense of the Miami Dolphins, we're going to run the ball a lot more. We're not going to be a flashy team. We're not going to be, we're going to be very cerebral with the ball. I don't see Tua out there trying to match Josh Allen in his offense, throwing it all over the place. It's going to be a lot of screens, a lot of RPO passes, a lot of runs, and it's going to be a slow grind with them. So I know we're a couple weeks away from that game, but I would say the Miami Dolphins right now we're gonna beat the Patriots handedly.
Oh, handily.
Oh, you think that's going to be handily down there in South Beach? The Dolphins, New England went down on Tuesday. First time I've seen them go down in a long time early to South Beach to prepare. That tells me that head coach Bill Belichick is concerned. He wants to get his team down there and get them at least acclimated to that warm, steamy, hot weather with guys. Because his team dies down in the fourth quarter. And they even died down on the last play of the game, that kickoff when Gronk, and they had Gronk back there. Yeah, they had Gronk back there.
Gronk looking robotic, man, trying to go make that tackle. Yeah, that was ugly. New England always, even with Brady, struggles in Miami. Hey, Miami's an undefeated type of town. So, Jay Gill, of course, even you can see some practice squad players getting out there. But as long as they show up on Sunday, I've seen no suspensions for the Patriots. Both of those teams mirror each other. Limited quarterbacks. It's going to be a lot of running the ball. I think both defenses are going to be tired in that second half because it's going to be a lot of physicality in that hot, steamy, humid weather. Different than in Louisiana, but definitely very similar. It's going to be an interesting, low-scoring game, I think, on Sunday.
Yeah, because the teams, as you saw in the Buffalo game, the guys were tired at the end of the first quarter. By the second quarter, you saw guys need to be coming out, and the Bills on the defense was good on the way, but the Bills offense even had trouble a little bit there with the conditioning because you're not used to playing a full game. And SoFi Stadium does get hot in there, just like it did on Super Bowl. Their lights and everybody, you get hot. You're just not used to playing a full game. And I thought that was impressive how Buffalo was able offensively to continue to move the ball, even run the ball. And I like Ken Dorsey's offensive system with running the ball And of course, Leslie Frazier, defensive guru, with disguising the coverage. The Bills coming up. They got Tennessee next week on Monday night. They get another what I would call a semi-bum quarterback. Tannehill. He's a bum. Man, the Bills lock up the first 2 games with bum quarterbacks. Miami gonna be 2 as a young quarterback, so you can fool him. And then you got Ravens. That's gonna be dicey with Lamar Jackson. And Jake Hill. Why didn't they pay the man the money? What's they paying him $24 million in 5th-year contract? Is that unheard of? Why is it a black man got to get the short end of the stick when it comes to the quarterback position in the National Football League? What's your comment?
I got to give kudos to Lamar Jackson. He knows his worth, and he knows what he needs to get. Lamar Jackson, I know what everybody might say about him, how he's a thug and this or that and this and that. You know, the media has their projections about him. However, when you look at a guy like Deshaun Watson, who just got acquitted, you know what I mean? He has to serve that 11-game suspension, but he still got his $230 million guaranteed dollars. Deshaun Watson was never a league MVP. Deshaun Jackson, that's terrible.
Yeah, it's a lot of them. It's a lot of them, Jay. It's a lot of them. You good?
Lamar Jackson, he was an MVP. He's the face of the Baltimore Ravens. Without Lamar Jackson, the Baltimore Ravens are nothing.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
You have to give Lamar his money. He's well deserved. He needs at least $200 million guaranteed dollars. Yeah, that's the quarterback market. That's what we're looking at. They won't hesitate to give that money to Justin Herbert. They won't hesitate to give that money to Joe Burrow.
My man.
They don't want to hesitate to give it to Lamar. So Lamar's going to stand out. And you know what? He's going to do something that I think that not a lot of you guys are going to, a lot of Buffalo fans are going to want him to do.
What's that?
But if this continues, Lamar Jackson just may be a Miami Dolphin.
He just might be. He just might be. You know they going, but they want the old man Tom Brady right now. That's who they trying to. The owner wants Tom Brady. He doesn't see Lamar Jackson in that light, and the owner then played his hand already in Miami, cheating and staying. Matter of fact, he should lose the team. I can't believe he's only suspended to October. Come on, what he did to Brian Flores, man. Come on, man. Lamar Jackson. I think if he's able to survive this season, man, I think I wouldn't even go back to Baltimore, man. I have to go somewhere else and pay, because now it's open business season. They can put the franchise tag on him.
They can.
But I you know what? That would be so nasty and so ridiculous to do put him on the franchise tag like that and try to keep him in that regards. I mean, I would have played hardball and sat out and said, pay me my money. Give me my money. I want it now. Pay me for the next 5 years. Get that contract. $240 million. They just don't want to go do a Deshaun Watson. They want a more friendly deal like Russell Wilson gave back to the Denver Broncos. Russell Wilson's in a different light. He always has commercials. He has a lot of things going on. So he's always had money too. He comes from a well-to-do family as well. So the money issue for Russell Wilson was never an issue with him. He has money. His grandfather, if you don't know, was the president of Norfolk State. University, very educated family. So it's a different. Russell Wilson comes from a whole different genre there. So I wouldn't put what he got paid as being so. But what these other guys getting paid,
Kyler Murray.
Yeah, Kyler Murray.
If Kyler's getting his, Lamar is no question. It's always funny. It's been simple with the NFL. Whoever's the next man up, the next person to get paid, they always get the highest deal. Now, because the NFL's trying to say Deshaun is an outlier. No. Hold on. Pay me my money. Lamar's a unanimous MVP. And Jay Gills, you took the words right out of my mouth. And I love Joey Burrow because that season, to me, best college season ever was Joe Burrow and those 2019 LSU Tigers. He's going to get paid no problem. Justin Herbert paid no problem. Lamar Jackson should get paid higher than Deshaun and guaranteed money. And if not, he should. That's what I would stand on and then sit out. But seems like he's going to play it out. He's going to try and go to Kirk Cousins' route, potentially franchise tag next year and the year after, potentially. But I know when it's time, he need to be getting paid Deshaun Watson money. And I would just leave it straight like that.
And Jay Gills, thank you for your appearance on the show. Last comment, what's the final score of the Miami-New England game?
Oh, man, I'm going to have to go Miami Dolphins 24, New England Patriots 14.
There you go. There you have it from Jay Gills. And they can follow you at Jay Gills, Sports Director at 105.5 The Beat, and Zeal Talk Upstate at gmail.com. Follow him. Jay Gill, thanks for coming on. And we'll be talking to you next week as always.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all, fellas. And I ain't get to talk to you, Fanatic, about that LSU game last week, but Mike, God.
Hey, good thing. It's time for you to go. We'll be glad to talk to you next week, Jay Kills. Talk to you next week.
All right, fellas.
Good to see you.
Take care. And coming up, courtesy of Rock Palm Broker. Rock Palm Broker is 559 State Street. Check out Rock Palm Broker at 559 State Street. We have our next guest coming straight from going deep south, Gaston, Alabama. We're going to the deep south, and welcome E-Rad.
Hey, good morning.
How you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. How are you?
We are doing well up here in the north. We're a little warm up here. We got a little 80-degree weather to get things heated up here in the north.
Yeah. We're used to it.
But we know you got a lot of Southeastern football action going on. Let us know what's going on with this Southeastern Conference.
With those other Tigers. Tigers. Go ahead, E-Rad. Talk to me.
Well, I just want to thank you for the opportunity to be here today and talk to you about a little SEC football today. I love college football and I love the SEC. And so we have 14 teams in the SEC, and starting with Alabama. Everybody knows Alabama, right? You got Coach Nick Saban. And you have a quarterback in Bryce Young, who just won the Heisman last year. He's coming back for another season. And
do you think can he start in the NFL? Do you think? Can he start?
Oh, I believe so. Yes. He is ready. He is ready. Yes, he has the talent.
Who do you see as the breakout team this year to watch that people, because we all know about the Alabama and Georgias, but who's the dark horse team that you think? Who? Tell the people.
Auburn.
We're on radio.
Oh, I'm sorry. Auburn. Auburn Tigers.
No,
yes.
Why is that?
And I know part of the answer is because Bo Nix, y'all threw him out of Alabama, told him he had to go. I know it's part of it, but why is
Well, Bo Nix didn't look so good this time, did he? He didn't look so good this time.
I see why y'all got rid of him, and I know y'all got one of my boys, PJ Finley, up there, but go ahead. Why is Auburn a surprise team?
Well, Auburn had to come through some adversity this year with the head coach and all that went on. And we came together as a team. Everybody's bought in. Everybody's ready. Everybody's ready to follow the direction of the head coach. And we are with our schedule and the play with our schedule, our opportunities are wide open. And we're ready.
You don't have that bum quarterback you had the last 2 years. What's his name? Nix. He's not there.
Bo Nix is at Oregon now, and he was defeated by Georgia 49-3.
Yeah, he was smacked around.
Yeah, he was smacked around. So our starting quarterback, TJ Finley.
From right outside Louis, right outside Baton Rouge. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Well, TJ Finley is our starting quarterback. He's made some strides since last year. He's starting to move in the pocket. He's starting to be able to use his legs. He's a great pocket passer. And with the combination of him and our backup quarterback, Robbie Ashford, who can use the pocket as well as his legs, our offense should be running like a top. You know, if our O-line holds, our O-line looks like they made strides this year. So that has been the problem. Our O-line has not blocked well enough for our running backs to advance down the field. But I believe this year is our year to surprise and shock the world. But that's my team, that's my team. So that's my team.
What's their record so far?
1-0. Oh,
We're 1-0. We're 1-0.
They did win. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
hey, Rabbit. They played Mercer last week, 142-16, and they get Mercer part 2. They're playing home to San Jose State. So
now you have to realize we have a home field advantage. We have 5 home games, and there's nothing straight, and there's nothing like playing at Jordan-Hare Stadium.
Well, who's your big game this year?
Oh, our schedule is tough. We play LSU.
LSU's not. I don't know.
We play. Well, the SEC is a tough conference anyway.
Yeah.
But we start off with 2 what you call cupcake games to get us warmed up. We play Penn State this year, and that's going to be a game that we're looking forward to getting some get back on, because we lost last year against Penn State. We have LSU, we have Arkansas, we have Texas A&M, Alabama, Georgia. And so the opportunities for us are wide open. They are wide open.
It sounds like
all we have to do is win. That's all we have to do is win.
Hopefully you have a good defense, because I saw Auburn at LSU about 3 when Joe Burrow was quarterback. It was that Joe Burrow season at LSU, and Auburn gave LSU the best game of that season. Actually, Auburn outplayed LSU in that game. It was rainy. It was kind of cool. Fanatic had me.
Now, last year when we played LSU, I don't know if y'all saw the play where Bo Nix, we call it backyard Bo.
Yeah, that was
he ran back.
That is when in Louisiana we said, Coach O, it might be time to go. You let this sorry Bo Nix run around, play Madden. He running around Gypsy doing and outran our whole team. And we all said, oh, heck no.
He went back 30 yards. I mean, it was like you went back off 30 yards to.
Yeah, it was.
You evaded defenders, but when he evaded those last 2 defenders and threw that touchdown in the end zone to Fromm, it was amazing. Now you have to admit it was amazing, and we had high hopes.
Yeah.
We had high hopes for him, but and I wish him well. But this year, TJ Finley and Robbie Ashford are coming through.
I like it. Hey, I know Rad, you about to jump in. I'm just gonna wrap it real quick here. Hey, E-Rad, hey, just know TJ Finley, right out Ponchatoula, right outside of Baton Rouge, really not too far. Don't let you gonna hear the announcers tell him he's Cam Newton. Just because he's 6'4", 6'5", about 220, 230, and he has a darker pigmentation, aka he a black man, doesn't mean that he plays like Cam Newton. He can run a little bit, but he's really a pocket passer. So don't be dumb.
He is a pocket passer.
When they get on the broadcast and say, "Oh, he can move like Cam Newton," don't let him fool you. He's a pocket passer who can kind of move when necessary. But thank you.
Well, he has worked on his legs, it seems, in the first game, and just his whole mentality has grown since last year. So hopefully, Auburn is I want them to win the national championship.
Speaking of Cam Newton.
Oh my gosh, those are some big words right there. You just said a mouthful there. I don't follow that closely, but I know that's a mouthful you just said there. My goodness, Auburn. I gotta start watching them. And they play, is Alabama on the schedule? Yeah, they always play Alabama. That's the
Iron Bowl. That's the Iron Bowl.
Yeah.
And no matter what record we have, if we've lost every game, that game is the most important game of the season to us. I mean, it's just like that Alabama-Auburn rivalry is you can't beat it. You can't beat it. And it's nothing like being at Jordan-Hare at the Iron Bowl. I've never been there at the Iron Bowl. I always have to work or something like that. I can never attend, but watching the Iron Bowl and being at Jordan-Hare is so different. Now we will be in Bryant-Denny Stadium this year, so but
we're gonna bring you back when we get closer to that rivalry game. We gotta have you back because I want to see what their record's gonna be going into the Iron Bowl game. So we're gonna get you back in the fall, probably in November. Undefeated. I'm gonna hold
Tell
it.
him again, E-Rad. Undefeated.
Undefeated.
Thank you.
Every year I'm like, okay, it's this year. And okay, it's this year. But this year I'm like, yes, it's this year.
Well, thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming on Real Deal Sports Show.
All right, I appreciate you.
We're gonna see you back in the fall. You take
All
care.
right. All right. You guys have a good day.
Thank you.
All right.
Go Real Tigers.
And E-Rad was brought to you. E-Rad was brought to you by Challenger Community News, Western New York's largest weekly African American newspaper, thechallengernews.com. Pick up the newspaper online, thechallengernews.com, or pick it up at various businesses in the community. Feel free, 585-766-3590. If you have questions, article, would like to advertise, or anything of that nature with Challenger Community News, largest weekly African-American newspaper. E-Rad, my goodness, she started with Alabama and went to Auburn and stayed on Auburn. I guess there's only 2 teams in the Southeastern Conference to her. Man, oh my goodness, we're gonna definitely have E-Rad back. Straight from Gaston, Alabama. That's only about 60 miles outside of Birmingham, Alabama.
Hey, Rabbit, that SEC baby, it bleeds deeply, and I love their passion. Hey, and everybody believes that their team is going to win the championship that year, no matter if you got Alabama and Georgia in your conference. So it's fun stuff. I will, on that note, LSU, terrible loss last week. Brian Kelly, I don't know how he's going to fit down here, but it's only game 1. I call it today's game the Battle of Baton Rouge. For the first time ever, Southern HBCU, the Southern Jaguars, are going to take the 20-minute drive down to Tiger Stadium and play the LSU Tigers tonight. It's so funny. It is so much. Vegas doesn't even have a line in all books at all of the different gambling spots for this game. So something is up, something fishy. First time ever, but LSU, Battle of Baton Rouge. Hey, I just hope it doesn't turn to a civil war back then. Hopefully there has been I'll pull people behind the curtain. There has been a conversation about a combined band show for the HBCU Jaguars of Southern University to come on and then have a little song with the LSU band. I think that'll be great for the whole community to show both of the bands off and show LSU how the Southern Jaguars band gets down. That'd be cool if that happens.
Man, I think come on, man. They're going to win the band. I can tell you going to win that, man. Southern University going to kick butt with the band, no man. Question. What's the name? I forgot the name of their band. They called them, I saw them at the Bayou Classic, man. They threw down, man. They threw down outside the hotel, too, man. They marched down the street doing all kinds of twirls, and the girls was doing the splits and all kinds of twerking and all of that.
Hey, Rabbit, don't get inspired. Don't get inspired with the women dance moves. Come on,
man. Man, they were doing, but they were playing Earth, Wind, and Fire, and
they was
some Charlie Wilson, the Gap Band, and man, I don't think LSU know those kind of songs, man.
That's why they need to perform. That's why they need to perform in front of 102,000, because we know George Strait and we know what's my man who sing Calling Baton Rouge. That people are going to get upset that I know. Not Tim McGraw. It's going to come back to me.
A country singer, huh?
Yeah, country singer, yeah.
No, it's a blowout at halftime. Southern will win the Battle of the Bands. LSU will probably win the football game. It'll probably be a blowout in the football game, but Southern going to kick butt at halftime. So stick around at halftime and check out Brooks. I'm going to tune in just for the halftime show because Southern going to get down. Hey,
Rabbit, I will say Garth Brooks is calling Baton Rouge. He does that song. But I think Jaden Daniels always starts slow. He did that with Herm Edwards, and he did it at LSU. And he just gets hot in the fourth quarter and third quarters when he's looking as destitute as it possibly can be. I think this game is going to be closer than what it seems. But I do expect LSU to prevail. Hey, Rabbit, I know we got to get ready to quickly wrap it up here. So I know, let me just talk tennis real quick. Let's go get it. U.S. Open. We got the women's final today. It's been a great U.S. Open. Serena never will gonna forget that. She had a great tournament, but it's Iga Swiatek, the number 1 player, versus Onus Jubin. She was a Wimbledon finalist, but Iga, she came down from a set down to come back and win 2 sets in a row. Iga's the new dominant player. I got Iga winning. And what on the men's side? I think we're gonna Carlos Alcaraz. He a 19-year-old from Spain. He can ball. What an amazing match! I love tennis. Hey, him and my man Francis Tiafoe from Maryland. We got an American to root for. He lost in 5 sets to Carlos Alcaraz. Alcaraz is going to be the youngest U.S. Open finalist ever, and then he'll be the youngest winner since Pete Sampras, and I think he'll be the youngest #1 player ever once he wins. So
he's unbelievable. Some of the shots he made, not only last night but 2 nights ago. I mean, this guy done played 3 matches in a row, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, that lasted almost over 4 hours. The match Wednesday went to almost 2 in the morning, and he was hitting shots behind his back and stuff at 1:30 in the morning. I said, who is this kid?
Yeah, hey, Rabbit, you know what it's like to be 19 years old, man. You got that youthful energy. He is, and his idol, of course, is the Bull Nadal. So he can cover the ground. Alcaraz, I think he's gonna have a stranglehold. And it's fine. It's fun. We need somebody besides Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic. I think Alcaraz and hopefully Tiafoe, that could be a nice a rivalry coming up.
Yeah, because he's only 19. This kid, I think he's going to win a few more championships. The way he's playing on the hard surface, I don't know how he plays at Wimbledon or the French on the clay, but I know on the cement, the asphalt, man, that man can play. That man got a hell of a game. Michelle Obama and everybody was behind Tiafoe last night. Yeah. I love seeing Michelle Obama in the Stars. That's one thing about the New York. The Stars come out for the man. They come out. New York, greatest city in the world. I mean, people came out, enjoyed these last 2 weeks with great U.S. Open tennis because not only the players played great, the fans were outstanding. And quickly, with Miriam Rivera Insurance Agency, 1038 Lyle Avenue sponsors our picks. Who's our picks of the week? We can get a couple games in real quick. I know Sierra gonna have us. We gotta go in a couple of minutes. Yeah, no doubt. Now I'm going real quick. I love the under on the Bills. I'm sorry, on the Bills on the Patriots Dolphins. I really love that. I love the under. They're under 47. I love the Vikings +2 versus Green Bay. And I'm a sucker for the overs. I'm teetering on this. I'm going between the Eagles and Detroit, and then the Chargers at Raiders, leaning more toward Chargers and Raiders over. But I love Dolphins under, love the Vikings +2. Go ahead, Radman. And if you want to win some real money, some serious money, go to our website, realdealsportsshow.com. Real Deal Sports with an S at the end, show.com. realdealsportsshow.com. And then click on the Winner's Edge page and check out the gambling action that we have there, the Radman picks on there. My big pick of the day is I definitely like Minnesota to upset Green Bay, getting points at home. Hey, they're at home. I'm going with the Vikings in that one. And also, I like Detroit getting the 4 points at home. Detroit playing Philly. I think Detroit going to send a message to the league that they're serious about football in the Motor City once again. Take Detroit in the 4 or 5 points that they're going to be getting in that game. And one other underdog, Houston getting 10 or 7. Right now it's between 7 and 10 points. I like Houston Texans at home because Indianapolis always starts slow and it's a division game and they always have trouble with the Houston Texans no matter who's. And Davis Mills is coming on as a quarterback. Take the Houston Texans in the points. Win yourself some money, but go to the website realdealsportsshow.com. See all of my picks on there. The Radman picks. If you was with me Thursday night, I took the Bills -2.5. They won by 21. You would have won a hell of a lot of money with the Radman if you was with me Thursday night. So ride with me on Sunday. Go on there, check out the site realdealsportsshow.com. Let us know what you think of the site as well. We got a lot. Pictures from Super Bowls gone by. We got Bayou Classic photos on there from the Bayou Classic. You see Bill Roden, the great journalist. I'm pictured with him in some of those shots there with the National Association of Black Journalists event. Larry Fitzgerald Jr. On there. There's a lot on the website. So check it out. realdealsportsshow.com. Check us out. We'd be glad to check it and see what's going on. Sierra, you there with? How's it going, Sierra?
Well, she's ready to come on. I can hear it. Hey, the WNBA, my Chicago Sky got eliminated by the Connecticut Sun. A terrible meltdown. Candace Parker, you're the greatest player ever to me. And you got to close that deal. But now the Aces and the Sun for the chip. I got the Las Vegas Aces, been on them all year. Sierra, talk to us on the 1s and 2s, baby.
Hi, yeah. Good morning. Your favorite homegirl, Sierra Monet, filling in for DJ Baxton. Thank you guys for having me this morning, helping you out and all that good stuff.
Appreciate you.
You appreciate you. You keep doing your thing, and I know you're watching the WNBA and all of the action as well.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. I got a chance to catch a little bit of the Bills game this week. And
all right.
they're looking good. They're looking good. I'm really
Yes.
happy about it. Some hometown love. I got my favorite Bills, representative. So
There you go. There you go. Well, thank you so much. And we look forward to coming back next week with Real Deal Sports Show. But check out the website, realdealsportshow.com, YouTube. Check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Hey, we're right there. We look forward to the audience. Fanatic, closing.
It's all good, as we say every week, and we will continue to do so. Buffalo 10 and always free Brittany Griner. Get Brittany Griner home. Political pawn. Politicians, do your dang job. I said dang. Do your dang job. Let's get Brittany Griner home. Let's not lose her from being in the spotlight.
There you go. Take care, everybody. Catch you next week.
See you next week. Peace.